What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here. Delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. Sign up for my newsletter over there. Get free comics. And then never miss a video. Never miss anything I'm doing. That's the place to be. And I appreciate everybody who signs up. I put that link down in the description below. If you've been following along, you've noticed I've been going through almost everything Supergirl. This is volume 5 of the 2005 series. And the final deluxe edition version of DC's books. And it covers issues number 44 through 50 and a bunch of other random stuff within Supergirl here. Now, did the series end at 50? No. And in fact, it's really sad. DC never commits to just finishing what they start with these collected editions. I love these spines where they all match. You get the whole series. But like every single series DC does this with, it feels like they do just like half the series. It goes all the way up to issue 70. And it's interesting. Now, I did do some research. I read volume 4 on my vacation, and I was like, what's going on here? There's this weird thing, and there's all these weird Kryptonians, and there's this new Krypton world and all that. I had no clue what was going on just on the basis of Supergirl. So I looked it up, and there was an event about new Krypton, and then an event that kind of finalized that, going through the Superman book for, I think it was about a year. And so they tied all of this into that. And that really lays down the background for all this needed. This does not stand alone very well, which is kind of sad because they really have not done the best job developing Supergirl as a character since she returned in Batman Superman, after Crisis and all that. So we have Supergirl dealing with an issue with somebody from her childhood who's a part of that whole universe there, and dealing with characters we've seen in the last volume. Again, this does not work without Volume 4 at all, because Volume 4 really starts the beginning of this, and then Volume 5, and then there's a Superman event also that needs to be read really to understand the basis of this. And Supergirl's flying around with these Kryptonians trying to just solve problems. The basic setup is that, like, humanity hates all the Kryptonians because there's some bad ones, and there's science police from Legion of Superheroes fame, and they are involved in, like, causing problems. And Supergirl and this other gal who goes by Flamebird, and then a guy who goes by Nightwing, even though he's not Nightwing. She's a Kryptonian, I guess, and then, I don't know. I guess he's Lois's son. I'm so confused at what's going on here. Again, it just doesn't play well without the book itself. Now, there is a nice background. They finally set up Supergirl kind of as, like, Lana Lang's niece as her secret identity. And so she hangs around the Daily Planet, and Cat Grant is trying to bring down Supergirl at all costs. And Cat Grant is a really nasty reporter and plays very well. So the characterization on that front is very good, and I like the drama on that front. Even though, obviously needed a little more to understand what was going on with all the events and all that. Reactron is kind of the main bad guy here, and he's escaped and causing tons of problems. He's actually posing, along with a couple others, as Kryptonians to try to amp up the hatred for Kryptonians and get them all arrested. And Supergirl and company, of course, finally bring him down and all that. We get some background information about Kal-El and Supergirl's mother's, I forget her name. Not Kal-El. What's the guy's name? I don't remember. Supergirl's father and mother, basically, in this next one. And we learn a little bit about sort of the Kryptonian backstory there, which is kind of nice. The art is okay. It's just like that, like, really over-dialed, oversaturated colors, as you can see. And the guy, I forget, I think it's Jamal Igle, but he does this, like, everybody's got, like, this, like, open-mouth angry face all the time. And a lot of modern comic artists do this sort of thing, where everybody's got a weird expression on their faces at all. See, Supergirl's got open mouth angry face. Let me see if I can zoom. Zoom. Open mouth angry face. Open mouth weird face. Open mouth angry face. It's like everybody's got that all the time, and I see that too. That really annoys me when I'm reading comics with that. I guess it's hard to draw reasonable expressions. I think when you do a simpler art style, like the old school, see, open mouth angry face, it just works better, I guess, because you don't sort of notice the detail of the mouths expressions and things like that. When it's like an old John Byrne, you don't get that all the time because there's not as much detail in there. I don't know. but it looks a little funky at times, and you know, is what it is. So eventually, like what happened in the last volume was Lois Lane's sister became a superhuman, and she was killed in theory by Supergirl, who felt guilty about it. But she comes back here as a superhuman, and we deal with that also. Later on, Banshee appears in this guy's run like 3 or 4 times. The Silver Banshee, sorry, Banshee's an X-Men character. The Silver Banshee is like this like old school character, and this is probably the best storyline in here. And she's trying to retrieve these artifacts, like to remove a curse from herself, and it causes problems. And the artifacts, it turn out, are embedded in actual people. And so Supergirl deals with this with a detective, and that's a lot more about this. Like we're finally out of that whole like world of Krypton stuff and into its own storyline at this point. And so I'm very happy to read this. This was the most fun out of the whole deal. I find that to be a nice pulpy concept, which is fun. And Supergirl becomes a Banshee, which is cool. And so they deal with this. Lana Lang is also dying, and this goes into a cool storyline also. And she's been lying to everybody all along. We've got a different artist here, obviously. I don't know who this artist is. Who is this at this point? I guess it's Matt Camp or Fernando Dagnino. I'm not familiar. I guess that was the last one. This one's Matt Camp. I don't know who that is. So, a little stiffer of a style and a little more digital looking of a style. So I don't know. But she thinks Lana's dying and all that, and it turns out she gets into this like cocoon thing. And we get the famous Michael Turner cover here. And so this cocoon thing becomes like this giant hive of whatever, and Supergirl has to like go and fight it. And we've got Jamal Eichel back with his angry faces again. And she works with Dr. Light in order to fight these bug creatures off. And there's this like queen bug creature who kind of looks like a man. And then they have a big fight. So this is a really nice storyline also. So once we got out of the new Krypton stuff, we got some really fun stories here with the Silver Banshee, adding to that character quite a bit. And then the whole deal right there. And then, of course, Lois's sister comes back. Very, very odd proportioned body here. Again, very, very masculine looking through this. But is what it is. So, enjoyable storyline in the back half. The beginning, I really just don't care about the Krypton stuff because I haven't read that event. And I know that issues 51 and 52 kind of conclude that event. And so if you are trying to follow like this Supergirl continuity, you read volumes 1 through 5. Then there's 51 and 52, which are contained in like the last stand of New Krypton or something like that. Volumes 1 and 2, and which I might just get as a completionist. I don't know. We'll see. And then it goes into Supergirl Bizarro Girl, which is not a deluxe version and does not have a matching spine. Next, I'll have a review on that very soon. All right, guys. Overall, 7 out of 10. Kind of average fare. Was quick to read. There's parts of the art I don't like, but the pacing is good. Characterization of all the sort of background Daily Planet characters and all that's really well done by Sterling Gates here. But Supergirl really didn't come into her own story because it's a Superman crossover story until the back half of this volume. So I look forward to seeing where Bizarro Girl grows with that and reading the rest of this series. Hit the like and subscribe button. We will be back soon.